Yes, yes, morning all. Let me just mute myself there. I was getting delay. I could hear my own voice. Yeah, morning all. Welcome to another heavyweight bass live stream. I thought I would go over some free plugins that I love. I mean, everybody. I spend a fortune on plugins, and I'm always buying the latest ones and whatever, and we're always discussing in the group about this plugin, that plugin, but there's a lot of really good free ones out there that I use every day working. So I thought I'd go over a few of them, stuff you probably never heard of, and give a few examples of how they work. Alright, let's kick it off. So, first one, let me just make sure the stream's up in the group and stuff. Give me a sec. So, first one. Alright, yeah, stream is all working and stuff. Right, first one. Let's have a look at this. Thanks very much to Mikey Paces for letting me use his track. It's a track that I've been mixing this weekend. So I've got this up to use it as an example. First plugin. Roughair. There's a website that I don't know if most of you know, KVR. It's a site dedicated to all their plugins. Every year they have a developer competition where members submit their plugins. This was the winner in 2016, I think it was. This is a great plugin. So a lot of people always talk about, the shine when you on pop records or on dance records. It's always about that top end, the air. And whenever I'm talking about mixing, I'm always talking about like air. Well, this plugin that is called Air, and it adds really nice top end shine. Can work on a lot of things. I tend to use it on vocals. So let me give you an example. Let's play the vocals at the beginning of this track.
Got me in a daze, but I'm afraid of when the haze disappears. Will I be here? No, I'm not thinking straight, won't hesitate. When the haze disappears, will I be here? Do I stand alone or do I go? Is it wrong, the future's still unknown? Conversations with myself, you'll never know. Am I running in circles? Oh, don't think about it, don't mess it up. I don't wanna reason. This silver lining won't come undone. I just keep believing that I belong here, I belong here.
Oh, you can hear what it's doing. It's really obvious. It's quite extreme settings.
I belong here, I belong here.
So it's not a complicated plugin to use. The frequency band is down here. You adjust the frequency. The lower it is to the left, the lower the frequency band. Further to the right, the higher it is. Threshold. I've never really worked out what threshold does. We can go to the website and have a look. Let me open up the page. There's the. That's not the one. Hold on. This is the guy's website. You can just download it from there. Roughair is a mixing tool for easily adding air, crispy presence to your audio. This is achieved by a combination of multi-band compression and gentle saturation of the highs. It enables for a stronger, more consistent presence of the high-frequency material. So the threshold is obviously a multi-band. There you go. That's what it does. The threshold is like multi-band compression. There's a wet-dry mix here, so you can blend the wet and dry signal in, so you can get like a parallel processor going in. This was the winner in 2016, as I said. Let's try it on what I've got. That was the vocals. Let's just put it on the master channel quickly. The idea. I mean, if I was going to use it on the master bus, I'd put the frequency up high and kind of use it as a kind of, you know, up to 20k, that kind of area, giving that lift. But it is beautiful on vocals. You get some really quick, you know, top end shine. Works well on drum bus. It works well on most kind of group channels if you want just a little bit of air. But I mean, I use it on vocals all the time. You can see on this one, it's the only thing I've got on the vocals because we already processed these vocal. This is Setmo is the original artist, so the vocals have been processed quite a bit. But we've just added a little bit of air with it to lift it in the track. All right, so that's the first plugin. Let's move along. We're going to stay on the theme with that website and the KVR challenge. So that's the next plugin I'm going to show you. I think Air was second, and this one was the actual winner. Ulean Loudest Meter. In today's day and age, with streaming and you know, having to LUFS now as the standard for international broadcasting and streaming, you know, like, you know, Spotify is playing back at -14 now, and Tidal and all these kind of things. Good metering is important. I mean, good metering has always been important, but a good LUFS for your streaming stuff is important. And this one is fucking amazing, and it's free. You just download it via. Let's bring the site up again. We just download it via the KVR Dev Challenge. If I let's click on there. There we are. It's just download it there. So the address is www.kvraudio.com, and then you can go to the forum and find them all. But the web address is up there, as you can see. It's just solid. Integrated, short term. It's very accurate. I've measured it as well. It's spot on. It's free. It's actually my favourite meter. Showing you your peaks. True peaks at the bottom here. There you go. That's my favourite meter. If you haven't got meters and you're not using meters, you should, especially if you're trying to get streaming versions of your tracks up and running. That's another plugin that I love. Let's have a look if there's any comments quickly. Let's see what's going on YouTube. Early morning treat. As everyone's up on the Iggs. Yep, morning. Morning, Damo. People watching on YouTube, people watching inside the heavyweight bass group. Right, let's move on to the next one. So I'm going to stick on the theme of meters, and my next one is Span. Now, this is Span Plus because I liked it so much I bought the updated version, but there's a free version, and the web address is let's take the page, hold on. There's a whole heap of free plugins they've got here. www.voxengo.com, and then you just go to the free section. Span is the first one on the list, but we'll look at some of the others as well. There are some really good free plugins. This is just a really, really good analyzer. I kind of normally set it to master when I'm mastering records, and I have it set on my input channel at the end of the analog chain on the way in. I don't like loads of detail. I just want to see, you know, big peaks and troughs, so I have this running. The master band, so I can just see the high and the lows and where the big dips are instead of anything complicated.
I see through the dust, my eyes adjust as the haze disappears. I am still here. You're in focus now, there is no doubt. If the haze reappears, we will be here. I won't.
So there you go, Span, another one that I highly recommend you picking up. While we're on Voxengo, we might as well look at the other one that I like using from there. Their Stereo Touch is another free one that I like. This is just a little bit of a widener. I'll put it on the master channel. Actually, let's put it on. You can hear it. Let's put it on this. Put it on one of the synth parts. Where is it? Plucks. Let's stick it on Plucks, and you can hear it. Solo the Plucks. Just a nice stereo widener. This is, you need to kind of play around with the settings and stuff, but I use this a lot on sort of pads and stuff. Very, very good. While we're talking about stereo wideners, let's have a look at another one. Amazing free plugin. Let's stick it on this pads as well. A1 Stereo Control. Alex Hilton. The web address for this one is hold on. Just bringing it up now. It's www.alexhilton.net, and then you can just go to Stereo Control. One of the things about modern music is about making things, you know, wide, but you got to be careful how you do it, because you want the low end to be mono. You know, it's everything from 200. You want to keep mono. We have the punch going through, and you know, a lot of these plugins just add in, they add it with phase, so they just do some weird things. This is a neat little plugin. I'm not 100% sure how it works, but it's not doing, it doesn't add any weird phasey effects when I add width to it. And one of the features that I like is this safe bass, which is basically everything below the hertz that are showing up on there is in mono. So it's great for, you know, you can stick it on your master and you can just mono off everything below 200, or you can just use it on pads. So you can mono off like the low end part of the pad to keep the punch and make the top part of it wider. Let's give you an example on these pads again. So this is the safe base. Up to 500 is now mono. 500 and below is mono. So we set that like 200, and then this is the stereo width, just making things wider. It's quite, I mean, it's too much width. Nice 110, 120 would be nice with the width to it. It's an expert mode that allows you to get into linear, logarithmic, and MS mode as well. You can choose the pan laws that you want to put on there. It's a great plugin for free. I mean, you know, there's plugins out there that, you know, that people are charging $50 to $100 for, that don't have some of the features that this one has. Sounds great. Alright, another little favourite of mine that a lot of people don't know about is Crush. This is from Tritic. So the web address for this is www.tritic.com, TRITIK.com. This is Crush, free. You don't have to sign up through anything, I don't think. Crush is a lively bit crusher and a bit more. With its bit crushing and downsampling algorithms, Crush combines the crispy taste of digital realm with the warmth of its drive stage and analog modeling. A modulation section allows you to quickly add extra life to a sound by modulating any parameter. It's just a great bit crusher. I mean, I was always a massive fan of the Logic bit crusher, and when I moved from Logic to Pro Tools, and then, you know, Pro Tools to Studio One, I always missed that bit crusher. It's nice to add on to, you know, individual snare parts and drum loops and add a little bit of character and stuff. I mean, I've got it on the master here. Let's have a listen. Actually, let's just stick it on. Let me stick it on the. This kick and sub. I like the drive section on it. It's nice. You can put that on the bus. Get some character out of it. And then you can add resonance on the stuff. And then you can add some modulation on each bit here. Then you've obviously got the wet and dry signal here as well. So what is nice, you can do things like you can add this onto a snare on parallel, or put it on the snare and use the wet and dry and adjust it underneath to add a little bit of crunch and character to snare drums. Great on bass to add a little bit of crunch on the edges. Sounds fucking great. I mean, I can't think, it's right up there with the best, the Bit Crusher plugins, the ones that you pay for or the ones that you get inside a DAW. So massive fan of this. I use it all the time. Just, you know, I might just use little bits of it to give a little bit of character to like snares and drum parts and a little bit of crunchiness. But it's great if you want to do some sound design, putting it on synth parts, using it on drum loops, stuff like that. So yeah, that one's Tritic Crush. Here's another little one that people have never really heard of. Acorn Digital. This is a delay plugin. This is free as well. Acorn Digital. It's called Multiply, and the web page is acorndigital.com, and then you just find the Multiply and you can just straightly download it from there. Acorn Digital Multiply is a free versatile chorus effect with a unique twist. Each simulated voice is processed with a phase of analyzing filters, so that unpleasant comb filter effects are avoided. Instead of reading that, let's just hear it. You know what? Let's put it on. So it's a chorus effect. This Plux reverb is probably not the best one to put it on, actually, because it's the reverb. Let me just move it over, put it onto the Plux sound itself. That's better. You can hear it. So it's a fancy chorus. It's free. It's a really, really nice chorus plugin. Does some different effects if you want chorus. The frequency modulation settings is what I like. You can pick the hertz that you want to do it and the depth that you want to get the modulation working on. Stereo spread is quite nice. And there's also the wet and dry again. It's a great little sound design tool, especially if you're looking for adding chorus to something. It's not, as I said, it's not a straight up chorus. It is. I mean, I don't use it much because I'm not producing and stuff, but I've played around with it and it's great on little synth parts. Good for adding a little bit of movement and some character. I like the blend on it. I like the wet and dry. I like things in parallel. So that's another little good feature. Every plugin should just come with the wet and dry. So you can blend stuff in and do parallel. Next one we're gonna look at is Metric Halo Thump. Let's go to the kick and sub again. You can hear it. All right. Metric Halo Thump 2. You get this from signing up at mhsecure.com. Metric Halo products. It's got a Metric Halo Thump. Thump is a unique audio processor that allows you to synthesize low frequency audio to add low end to your track and generate another sound entirely. So it's good for adding, so it's a subharmonic enhancer basically, so you can add more low end to your kicks. You can change the sound of normal stuff. You can they talk about recreating sounds of the classic 808 and whatever. I mean, I like it for beefing up kick drums and adding low end to like toms and stuff like that. So so there we go. So enable. People sending me messages again. Let me just switch off Facebook chat. Oh, there we go. All right, yeah. So it's just a subharmonic frequency booster. So you can do oscillators, some factory presets. You know, give you some quick examples of what can be done. So you can add that to your bass to get some more low end kick thump. So that's a nice thump to the front of kick drums. Let's mute the 808. So it's already quite a big kick, so it's probably not a good example. But anyway, it's good for adding kind of some low end stuff. You can do some crazy stuff with it. And you can you hear the thump on the front of it as well, and the wet and dry again. Sub thump. Hear the sub coming in. Yeah. So if you've got like a bit of low end lacking in the track, you can add this to the bass to get some low end going on your bass. If you like you know, if you like a bass sound but there's not enough low end in it. So alright, let's move on. The next set of plugins I'm going to talk about are Tokyo Dawn Records. So they've got a whole bunch of free plugins. Nova, Kotlin-Nikov, which is a compressor, Slick EQ. I actually upgraded all my TDR ones to the Gentleman's Editions because they're just good plugins. So, but we will open up a few of the other ones. The address is www.tokyodawn.net. You just register and you can download them. First one we'll look at is Nova. So I think the free one only has. Nova is a dynamic EQ. So you know it's not quite the same, but it's, you know, a more detailed kind of multi-band limiting, so to speak. I'm not going to go into what the differences are, but you can obviously, with this, you can change the cues, so you can and the filter bands. So you can have like shelves, or you can have, you know, peak style EQs. I'll show you. So it's the free one's only got 4 bands. Put the analyzer on.
I belong here. I belong here.
Come on.
I belong here. 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 I belong here.
You can switch the threshold on. That's a compression across the whole thing, but if we use that, just that one band.
I see through the dust, my eyes. I belong here. I
Control
belong here.
the peak from 50 Hertz. You set the frequency that you want to do.
I belong here. I belong here.
Come on.
I belong here.
That gain.
I belong here.
So you can add a little bit of low end, so it's only reacting when the kick comes in, it pushes peaks up, or you can kind of use it to control peaks, individual sounds hitting, so you can control it when like a bit of a heavy kick drum that comes in and you just want to capture that particular frequency. Cues are fully adjustable, frequency range is fully adjustable, so is the ratio, the compression. As I said, this is the Gentleman's Edition, so it's got more bands and a lot more details, but the free one is very, very good and well. And the filters are really nice on it as well for your band passing. probably the best sounding filters on a sort of free plugin that I've heard. I think I like them a lot. Eddie Bazille put me onto this one. He loves the filters on this one. I think this is generally like an EQ that he just uses on everything. He doesn't have to use it as a dynamic EQ as well. You can use it just as, without any, without any of the dynamics in threshold gain reduction happening, and just use it as a normal EQ. So sounds great. Very transparent. Very it's one of those ones you add quite a lot. You don't really think it's doing anything until you take it out, and then you're like, oh, okay, there you go. It's nice and smooth. The next Tokyo Dawn one that I like is the Slick EQ. So I've upgraded to the mastering edition. It's just a really the free band EQ. Got a few different EQ styles here: American, British, German, Soviet. So that's the tubes or etc. What's in there? EQ saturation. So that adds a bit of colour. The high band is really nice. The up here, 12K, that kind of area adds some really nice air. The mid range is really sweet as well. Nice on the master channel, great on your bus channels as well. The EQ saturation is a great little feature. You switch through and you get the different colour interfaces, so you know which one you're on, and each one of these has got a different character to it. You know, it's saturating like a hardware EQ. And there's your high pass filter, which again is a really smooth high pass filter on it as well. Let's just have a look if they've got any questions. Let's have a look. Let me just check the Facebook group. See if we've got any. For the Facebook record them. Anyways, no. No, Facebook Facebook will put it up afterwards. This will all be up on Facebook inside the group, and I'll probably share it on my personal page, and it will also go up on YouTube afterwards. And then you can just watch back at your own leisure. I'm trying to see if there's any other questions. Where this Facebook is so weird. And then you can just watch back at your own. Let me just mute that. Sorry for the new question. But what DAW is this? This is Studio One. PreSonus. I swapped over to it about 2 years ago, I think, from Pro Tools and Logic. I like it a lot. How do you know when wide is too wide? We just check your mix in mono for a start, and in like. You know, mono compatibility. Club sound systems play back in mono, so the only reason we make things sound wide is for headphones and home listening, etc. When a club plays back, it's going to play back in mono. So imagine the easiest analogy I like to use is like, you know, imagine a piece of paper. So mono compatibility is the perfect piece of paper when you fold it in half and it lines up all perfectly. That's the same with a sound. If the mono is right and the phase issues are all right, it will just fold over and nothing will drop it to the back of the mix. But if you've got things like phase wrong in stuff. Maybe stuff is too wide. When you hit the mono switch, it's like having a piece of paper with all the sort of edges torn into the top, and it doesn't line up perfectly. You fold it over and it just doesn't line up. You switch into mono, all sounds drop to the back of the mix. You need to start looking at them again. And that happens with width as well. If you're making things too wide and it sounded alright to start with, if you're making it too wide and you switch to mono and it all disappears or it drops to the back of the mix, but it sounded alright before, it's too wide. Like you also with width is you don't need to go wide with anything above 10k. Me personally, I like to start bringing that in. The width should come in from about 800 to 3k, 4k. That's where you want the width in the mid range. That's just my personal view. Someone else will tell you, he's fucking wrong and this and that. That's just my experience with stuff and just the way I do stuff. And I think I don't make things super wide. I'll just pick key elements that will make the track sound wide. I don't stick width over the whole thing. I'll go in and go, right, there's the percussion parts of the drum, so let's make sure the kick, good parts of the snare, all that kind of stuff is mono, punchy, straight down the middle, going to sound good on the sound system. Let's make the hats a little bit wide. Let's make shakers, so I'll put them on a bus and I'll make the shakers a little bit wider. Same goes with pads. For a start, I'll make sure if it's a stereo pad, I'll make sure that when you flick it to mono, there's not going to be phase issues and it disappears to the back of the mix. If it does, I might layer a mono version underneath just to give it a little bit of punch down the middle. And I will stage the width of pads and leads. So if there's like, you've got three leads in a track, I'll have each of those at different stereo width. Not all of them doing the same, not all of them out at the same place. I'll do, one just a little bit of width, then one a little bit further, and then one a little bit further out again. Normally, and I'll make ones with with more mid-range low end in them down the middle, not as wide, and the ones that are kind of, more kind of toppy type leads without as much low end, I'll move them out further. Right. The other three ones. What was the other ones I was gonna? Cable guys. This pancake. It's a panner, and you just draw your panning in how you want, so you can get all sorts of kind of fancy kind of panning stuff going on. Hear that? It's great. You don't just get some simple panning effects going on. You drop this in there and draw what you want. Super quick, super easy to get good results out of it. Sounds great, and yeah, something I recommend if you want to add some excitement into your mixes. Boz Digital, Bark of the Dog. It's another low end enhancement thing as well, like the one we did earlier, Thump. So this is just another one that I like as well. Let's do the drums again. You choose the frequency here and the amplitude. That's it. How much you want to add. You can add lower. Wet mix, so you can just wet and dry, and in. So with just added loads of low end. Nice again if you've just got like a weak kick and you want to add a little bit of low end to it. Good on bass lines. You just want to add a little bit more low end. You can be good. And you can do it like that little trick that I did. If you watched the video last week where I was showing you some sort of drum processing, you can do that. Adds a little bit of weight to the bottom of snares as well. It's a good little useful plugin. So Bark of the Dog, it's free. Boz Digital. So let me just get the web page. I should have been more organised and got these all up to start with. But life and kids get in the way. Boz Digital Labs. So it's Boz Digital Labs. BOZDIGITALLABS.com. And you just go to the plugins and you go to freebies at the bottom and Bark of the Dog, and this Panulator as well is another free one. I've not used much of it, but I know a few people that rate it. I know a few people that love these plugins. They're not expensive either. I've got a few of them that I use. Littlefoot and Sasquatch Kicks Machine and stuff, they're kind of more advanced versions of what we just looked at. Alright. The last one I'm going to go over is, I can't show you any examples of it, but I'm a massive fan. When I was on Mac, I was a massive fan of this guy, and what he's done is, I used to buy these plugins, but he's gone through you donate basically, Patreon or whatever it's called, that website where you donate to him. Air Windows. This shit is fucking amazing, but it's Mac only, so I can't show you any examples. But you can basically, for Mac, here we go, VSTs. Oh, maybe he's got them now. Air Windows plugins are modular, graphically stripped down VST plugins. Okay, so he's got them for Windows now. I had no idea. There you go. There's so many plugins on here. It's ridiculous. Yeah, look, now everything I do is free. AU, Mac PC. Let's have a look. 244 free plugins. He's not got his VST. There's not as many. 65. So you haven't got as many. So we'll have a look at for you Mac guys. There's Chorus, Logical 4 is a two bus compressor. It's very simple interface. You can see it here. Threshold ratio. Dusty Bunny, unpredictable distorted noise. Star Child, a weird digital ambience. Desk 4, I used to love this. Distinctive analog coloration. So you put it on your channels and it's like summing. It gives you the desk character and stuff like that. Tape Dust, which is what is it? There you go. It's a new one that I've not seen before. From Tape is a minimalist analog tape emulation. Quick Voice Clip, 2Tape, highest quality airways analog tape emulation. There you go. It's 244 plugins to choose from. Air Windows console emulations. Bus Colors 4, that's always a good one. When I was on Mac, I loved that one. Iron Oxide Classic is another tape emulation. That was good. Air is another, bright style EQ like that Air one we looked at earlier. Loud, distortion and demolition of air molecules. Loud's here's something rather special. What is it? Oh, it's a distortion plugin. He's got limiters. He's got Surge, compressor for accentuating beats and pulses, so it's a good little drum one. I would go in and bloody just download as many of these and play around with them if you're on the Mac. Same as going to the PC page and just have a look. Just free, loads of them. So that's www.airwindows.com. There's loads of them free for Mac, not so many for PC, but really worth a look. All right. That's it from me today. It's going to be just a quick hour, or coming up to an hour, 45 minutes for look. Hold on, sound. Just have a look if there's any more questions. Anybody else got any more questions? All right. Well, I hope that helps. I mean, I didn't give you the best kind of demos with the plugins. I think you can just you get an idea of what they're doing, and you can just play around with them yourself. The ones I reckon they're just stuff that people don't know about, especially the KVR ones, the free ones from there, and the meters and stuff. Roughair, I'm just a big fan of. So I hope you got a lot out of that one. I'll be back next Monday. I'll do some technique stuff again. I don't know. I'll have a think about what to do. Probably stream another client mix or something for a couple of hours, and you can just watch me work. Or I might do some kind of specific stuff. If you've got any kind of stuff you want specifics, just post them in the comments, either on YouTube or in the Facebook group and the chat there, and I can have a look at them and see what to do next week. I hope that helps. Yeah, as I said, they're all just really great free plugins that you can add to add a little bit of excitement to your mixes and stuff. And they're all fucking quality. They're all stuff that you can, that people would pay for as well. And they're all for free. There's a lot more out there, but they're just a few that I'm a big fan of that I think you should check out. This KVR Developer Challenger one, there's a lot more here. The loudness meter, this delay I've not tried, but it's supposed to be good. The Roughair, which we looked at, there's a plug-in amp. I mean, some of these, they're fucking great. This noise tower, there's a couple of people in the group that use it. It sounds great. It's a generation is purely mathematical. It generates noise and kind of unique sounds. Might be good for some sound design and adding something unique kind of effects in a track. Snare buzz, what a cool idea that is. Snare buzz is an audio plug-in effect that emulates the wires of a snare buzzing when there's another instrument playing near it. It's cool. Anyway, there's loads of them there. I've not tried most of them. A lot of them are soft synths and stuff. Not really anything that I use anymore, but worth a rummage around. Alright. That's it. I'm going to call it a day. I hope you all have a great week. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you find a lot of use out of the plugins. There's a couple of comments that have gone up. Let's have a look, see if it's questions. Oh no. Alright, yeah. I hope you have a great week. I hope you get some use out of those, and I will see you all on the other side next Monday. Alright, take care.